I can't tell if this makes me look like a chef or a sailor. Hey everybody, today I thought I would do a quick Q&A on some questions I get asked all the time about gay cruises. So let's dig into it. How do I get cruise cards? I'm gonna link down below in the description a site that my friends and I use all the time, which is moo.com, M-O-O.com. They're just a website that does cards and business cards of all sorts. And the ones I usually get are what they call the mini cards, and they're much smaller. They're like the size of like a stick of gum, and you can customize them, put photos and whatever information you want to put on them. So moo.com, it's a great site. I use it every time. So I'll link down in the description below. How do I know what outfits to bring? This is probably asking about the parties that happen on a lot of the cruises. Most of the parties have themes, so about a month or so before you go on a cruise, let's say you're staying with Olanta, they will send out what the party themes are via email. So based on those themes, you can get creative, get together with your friends, and come up with some outfit ideas. For example, there's usually a dog tag party and it's military themed, so you can think about what kind of clothing or accessory that you would like that reflects an army or like a military theme. You can go camel inspired type look, or go in all black, or go in some type of like military army navy type uniform. So the possibilities are endless. Be creative, but look out for the email that they send out about a month before the cruise. They'll tell you what the themes are, and that can be your inspiration for what kind of outfits you can get. Can I walk around in a party outfit or in underwear or naked on the cruise ship? Yes and no. Don't walk around naked, okay? Generally though, let's say you have dressed up in your party outfit in your room and you're gonna go from your room to the party venue on the ship, you're probably okay. However, nudity generally is not okay. If you are wearing a jockstrap or something and your ass is out there, that's pretty much about the limit of what is acceptable. Keep in mind there is hundreds if not thousands of people on the ship that live on the ship and they are working there. These are people that cook you food and serve you meals. These are the people that clean the ship and the stateroom. They run all the activities. They live there. So when you are walking around with something you think is a little bit questionable, just note that these people have to look at what you're wearing and they kind of sort of live there. So yeah, don't be fully naked. Don't do that. Your swimwear, it's okay if you have an outfit on, as long as it's not too like revealing, you're probably okay. Can I bring alcohol on board? This is another one where it's gonna vary by the cruise line that the ship is sailed by. So a lot of them do have rules about alcohol. Usually though, generally you cannot bring hard liquor, but they might let you bring 1, maybe 2 bottles of wine. Find out what cruise line you are going on and check on their website or call them up and look up what their specific alcohol policy is. That's your best bet. Can I bring water on board? So first of all, the water is drinkable. Tap water is drinkable. At the stateroom, this is what I do every time I go. It might not be chilled or ice cold, but it's coming out of the tap. It might be like room temperature or maybe a little bit warm, but it's perfectly safe to drink and it's free. Usually they will not let you bring jugs or cases of water on board. If you really must have bottled water, then you can check with that cruise line for the cruise you're on to see if there are any drinks packages. Sometimes you get soda packages or water packages where they'll give you X amount of soda or bottled water or what have you, and you just pay a flat fee for it. That leads me to the next thing, talking about cafes and restaurants. What kind of food is served? Most cruises have a variety of food options. Every cruise I've been on different cruise lines, there's always one huge buffet, and they have almost every different type of food from different types of cuisines. It could be like Western to like they have Asian food, and they have like some sort of Italian food, and they'll have burgers, just a wide range of stuff. And they also have salads and desserts and just almost everything, right? I go to the buffets a lot because I just like that style. I can just kind of pick and choose where I want to put onto my plate. Most of these cruises also have a main dining area, which is little more formal than just a buffet. You go up and then they'll sit you at a table. There's, a menu that they give you. The options are a little more limited, but usually it's Western fare, and then they do brunch or breakfast and lunch and then a dinner service as well, and this huge kind of like dining hall restaurant style where you sit down and have a meal. There are always usually specialty restaurants as well. Maybe they cater to different types of cuisine, and those usually as well are more the typical sit down type restaurants. Most of the food on a cruise usually is free. Some of the specialty restaurants might be paid where the food is not included, or they may have portions of the menu that are paid and other items on the menu that are free. Switching gears, what is the Wi-Fi like? Think about if you really actually need Wi-Fi on a cruise. A lot of people really like the fact that there's not Wi-Fi for free because they can actually disconnect completely and they can go completely untethered for a whole week and kind of enjoy their vacation that way. Some newer cruise ships especially will have a system on board where it's not internet access, but there is a Wi-Fi system where if you download that cruise line's app onto your phone, you can have some basic functionality while you're connected to the Wi-Fi network on the cruise. It's not full internet, but you can do things like get a chat package for like, I don't know, $8 or $10 for the length of the cruise, and then via the app from the cruise line on your phone, you can message staterooms or call staterooms. But in terms of full-on Wi-Fi access, Wi-Fi tend to be hit and miss on a cruise ship. It really depends on which cruise line you're on, what kind of Wi-Fi, satellite, what have you system they have on that particular ship. Assuming it's functioning properly, it's going to depend on where in the world or which part of the ocean you're in, how strong that signal is. So there's so many factors, it's hard to say that the Wi-Fi will be consistently good for the length of your cruise. I'm gonna say if you need to critically be connected on Wi-Fi because of some business type thing, you want to tell your work that you're probably not going to be very connected. But if you just need casual internet access for social media, checking emails occasionally, nothing business critical, most of the ships that offer Wi-Fi, the Wi-Fi would be perfectly fine for that. Why is an Atlantis cruise more expensive than other cruises? I get asked this quite often. An Atlantis cruise gives you everything that the cruise line will offer on one of their own cruises, right? Royal Caribbean, for example. Most of the Royal Caribbean cruises, they sell those cruises themselves. It's not a charter cruise where like you have a company like Olanta that comes in and charters Royal Caribbean ships. And on an Atlantis cruise, you get all those things that Royal Caribbean or whatever cruise lines operating that ship offers, all the amenities, all the activities, all the shows, right? Atlantis comes in and they actually add some additional talent. You see additional shows that are Atlanta specific, DJs, parties, all those things on top of all the things you would usually get anyways on a regular cruise. So that's why it might cost a little bit extra. How much does a cruise cost? It varies a lot. For the Atlantis cruise, all the pricing is usually on their website, right? But very generally, cruises, assuming you have 2 people to a room, and that's usually how the pricing is advertised, you're gonna pay somewhere from $1,300 or $1,400 US for a basic interior room, and most rooms of a regular type go up to maybe like $2,000 a person. So that's kind of your range, like $1,400 to $2,000 per person. You have 2 people to a room. You can always pay more than that though if you have a particularly fancy room, right? Like some sort of suite or something. If you're baller, you want to go all out, but that could run into like the 5 figures. But generally, $1,400 to $2,000 per person. And lastly, do people go alone? I've addressed this on one of my previous cruise videos. I know there are a lot of you out there that's intrigued by the idea of a gay cruise, but your friends don't want to go, or you haven't been able to find people that want to go with you. There are actually a lot of people in your position where they want to go on a cruise, right? And they're scared of going alone, right? And they're scared of like, well, they don't want to pay for an entire room to themselves because it kind of doubles the cost. Work with a travel agent like Steve K. I'll link him down below, right? Go onto Facebook. There's usually a Facebook group for pretty much every cruise upcoming, and you can start finding and networking with people. You can find a roommate that way or through a travel agent. Atlantis themselves, they do have a room share or roommate matching program as well. So there are all these ways you can actually find a roommate if that's your aim. Even if you choose not to have a roommate, you want to get a whole room by yourself, that's great. But then I get people asking me, oh, I have a room booked, but you know, I'm nervous and scared of like going on a cruise by myself. Again, on a cruise, I feel like it's such a great atmosphere for you to be able to come out of your shell and be really open and be really friendly. And you'll notice other people, 99% of passengers are gonna be that same way. And someone says hi to you, you say hi back, start a conversation. You know, if you wanna go and have a meal with someone at a restaurant, I know that the main dining options on a lot of the Atlantis cruises, we actually have Atlantis people stationed there at the host and hostess station as well, and they'll actually try to pair you up so that you're not like eating alone, right? I was helping to do that on the October Atlantis cruise where I volunteered to work that cruise, and yeah, there were a lot of people that just came into the restaurant, and we paired up lots of people so that, you know, they can all kind of have like a family style meal together, and a lot of people kind of met someone that way. So I would say don't worry if you want to come on a gay cruise and you're alone, you want to come onto alone, you want a roommate, there are lots of ways that you can find your roommate, meet someone great that way. Even if you want to just come on board and have your own room and not have the roommate, it's still going to be a great time, and you're going to meet tons and tons of people, as long as you just, you know, be friendly to everyone and have an open mind. Don't get too anxious or too nervous, and then I think you're gonna have a great vacation, whether you come alone or you come with a big group of friends. All right, that is it today. Just wanted to tackle some of the common questions I get that you guys ask me in comments or in private. If you guys have any more questions, feel free to comment down below or just PM me directly, and I'll try to tackle those questions for you. If you have not already, check out my other cruise videos. It feels like I make so many of them all the time, especially for first-time cruisers where you might have a lot of these questions I addressed for you in this video. Check the video I did for what to pack for a gay cruise, and also some tips for before, during, and just after you get on board a gay cruise. Until next time, bye YouTube.